Well, here I am again. Follow-up trip. Less than a week after returning from Yellowstone and the Tetons, I'm heading to the Palouse of Washington, Pullman, planning on staying at. Gonna go through Boise and on up. I'm actually in my carport right now, about ready to head out. Hoping to get some shots of the rolling farmlands. I've seen some beautiful pictures that other people have taken there. I've never been there. Weather forecast looks like rainy, as typical. It's either rainy or snow, it seems like this whole year everywhere I go. But I'm already booked. I already have time off, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, gotta make a detour here at Maverick. Adventure's first stop. Gotta get my Coke Zero refill. I love stopping at Maverick. They got a good choice of snacks. Always got the refills that I want. I hate to sound like a commercial because I'm not being paid by them. But hey, Maverick, if you're out there and listening to this, you know where to send some funds. But no, seriously, I pretty much always stop at Maverick whenever I need to pull over, if there's one in the state, and I think it's kind of a Utah home base. So get my Coke Zero so I'll have enough caffeine to make it up to Boise and maybe get something to munch on for breakfast. Here we are on the way to Boise, just coming down. I just hope that this is not what I'm going to run into when I get to the Palouse area, because this will be hard to photograph. The whole point of shooting there is that it's not just farmland, but it's these rolling hills, and so on sunrise and sunset especially, you can get the side lighting that really makes a nice contrast between the rolling hills. You have highlights and shadows, and that's what makes the whole area attractive. And if it's like this, there's no light, there's no side light, there's nothing. It's just kind of a gray overcast. So fingers crossed this is not what I run into up there. So I'm at the original Pancake House in Boise with my brother and sister-in-law, having breakfast on my way up to Pullman. Food looks really good, tasty, and there's my brother and sister-in-law. So now excited to have some good food and then head up and get some photos, and great to have a visit. Driving through the I think it's called Boise National Forest. Saw a sign. I've never been up here before. It's a beautiful area. I don't know what the river is along here. Switch the camera around here. River off to the side there. Yeah, just beautiful area. Very green. So I pulled over here in the canyon in Boise National Forest. There's some beautiful wildflowers along the road. So I'm going to try to include some pictures. I don't know what they are. There's purples and some whites and blues, and I think those are the official colors for the flowers. That's at least what I call them. So anyhow, I'll try to include some in the video here as well. That they're just absolutely gorgeous. So this is not, we're not there yet, but I just got to show you the background. Look at all this yellow and stuff here. It's just amazing. Let me flip this around, you can see. So just incredible yellow colors and stuff. I've got another hour and a half then to get to where I'm going. Some beautiful farmland already that I'm passing through. I'm stopping to take photos, and which is both good and bad. I mean, this is a photo trip, and so I want to stop and take photos. The downside is that it gets me to my destination later and later, and I need to be able to have daylight, not only to get sunset shot, but to find where I'm going to shoot for sunset and sunrise. I can't choose in the dark where I'm going to shoot for sunrise, and it might even be raining. It's starting to trickle right now. Just flipping around, a little bit of rain coming down. I don't know if you can see that on the windshield or not there. But yeah, so I figured while I'm through these beautiful farmlands and I have light and it looks pretty, I'm going to take pictures of I guess a sure bet in risk that I'm taking a gamble and I'll still have enough light to get there. I might get there and it's raining, and I might have wished I spent more time here taking photos while the lighting was good, but you just can't count on the weather. You can't count on wildlife. Photography is obviously, you've got to have some know-how and skill and got to get there, but there's always an element of luck. You got to be at the right place at the right time. I just saw a billboard that on July 23rd, and I didn't see is somewhere a casino around here, but Casey and the Sunshine Band is playing at a casino here somewhere. Okay, I'm coming up on another billboard. Probably won't be able to see it. Coming up July 23rd, Casey and the Sunshine Band at Clearwater River Casino and Lodge. Holy cow. So if you're, like I said, if you're a fan, there you go. Okay, arrived in Pullman. We've still got a few hours until sunset. It's gray and cloudy and drizzly, but you know, a lot can change in a couple hours. I've been on photo trips before where it's going to be a really crappy sunset and get rained on, and then all of a sudden it clears up, or the reverse. Looks like it's going to be beautiful, and then you get poured on. So we will see what happens. Okay, I'm checking into my room in Pullman at the what is this place? The Coast Hilltop Inn. Actually a nice place. King size bed. I mean, I actually planned, it's a long story behind this, but I planned on a cheaper place and ended up here, which is okay. It cost me more than I wanted to spend, but it's nice. Happy to have a nice room, hot tub and pool. So I might take advantage of that. This is kind of a little bit what nightmares are made of. So, or at least I've had nightmares of this, driving off the edge. So this is Steptoe Butte, and it's basically a one-lane road that's not maintained in the winter. And if you drive off the edge, you're dead. And there's no, guardrails or anything. They're just you go flying. You do a Thelma and Louise type trick if you go out over the edge here. So yeah, you know, my fear would be either that I'm looking at something interesting and not paying attention to the road, or maybe looking at my camera as I'm talking to my vlog and going over the edge of the road, or somebody comes charging down and smashes into me and knocks me over. So I don't know, I guess little over paranoid, but it's a long ways down. Okay, a Steptoe Butte. You can kind of see down there. Looks like a little bit hard to tell, but very cool view. Unfortunately, it's still raining and gray, so I don't know. I can't get the shadows and highlights and things like that I'd like to be able to get. Got a little bit of sunlight on the horizon there, but not enough to kick over really to create any shadows, and I don't know if that's going to happen. We've got a little over an hour, and I'm hoping that if the break in the clouds stay there, we'll still have that side lighting. So I'm going to take some pictures anyhow, just as kind of cool up here. We'll see what happens. Okay, day 2. It's a little after 3 a.m. Sunrise is at 5 a.m. here, and that means that if there's sunlight or sunrise light, could be 4:30, could be a little after, quarter after 4, something like that, and it's roughly a half hour, 40 minutes to get to Steptoe Butte from Matt and Pullman. So I'm up early, heading out in just a few minutes. Weather forecast, according to AccuWeather, it's 41% chance of rain right now. By 5 a.m. it drops, I think, down to about 20%. And then, it's going to be rainy all day. Kind of the same old. So, don't know if we'll get light again today. Didn't get the light I wanted last night. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, but hotel parking lot is packed. Place is full. I don't know if everybody's out here just because of the time of the year, the colors, or people come out here for other things. But, you know, it is Memorial Day weekend, so maybe there's just a lot of other people wanting to do what I'm doing. I guess we'll see. There's quite a few photographers out last night. I don't think it's going to be a very good morning light. But I guess like anybody else, if you traveled all the way here to get photos, you're going to show up. That's what you came out here for. Well, here we are, Sunday morning. Oh, look, there's a deer down there. Holy crap. You won't be able to see it here. But, nice morning, just not much light. I don't think there's going to be any light on top of the ridges here. So, decided to switch to my cell phone instead of the GoPro, just because I can zoom in and have a little bit more control. So it's interesting. The GoPro has its advantages. The cell phone has some advantages though too. So let me just switch, and you can kind of see how beautiful it is in the rolling hills. So you can see the definition and colors and stuff in here. It's pretty impressive. Beautiful, beautiful morning. Beautiful flowers. I mean, look at that right there. Perfect picture. You can see, like I said, there's some beautiful, beautiful country down there. Fog's rolling in, or clouds moving in, I guess it is. I don't know if it's technically fog, but anyhow, I need to decide, do I stick around and wait to see if the sun comes up a little more? I think the sun's right out there. I have to turn on my app to see. But you can see it's really thick clouds. If the sun's not going to peek out, then I may go to Palouse Falls or somewhere else to shoot. It's just I hate to leave here because it's just so beautiful. All right, well, I hate to leave Steptoe Butte. I want to maybe check back at sunset, and of course it's sunrise again the next couple of days, but I think I need to move on. This landscape's going to change, but everything's changing. So, all right, well, I look like a homeless man. I guess that's what you get for being exhausted and you know, whatever it was, 3-4 hours of sleep. Yep, I'm gonna head to Palouse Falls. Figure out next. It's getting really cloudy out there, which, like I said, is pretty, but it's hard to get any more of the shots that I think I want. So yeah, on to something else. Okay, I'm at Palouse Falls now, so just parked. I'm gonna hike the 20-mile trail. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably a quarter-mile trail to hopefully get some pictures. I did bring my parachute. It's strapped onto my back because I may try to get some pictures on the way down. Just kidding again. It's my camera backpack. I'm not planning on falling or jumping off the ledge. Okay, so oh, look at that, it's a groundhog. Hey, you can't probably see there, a little black dot in the middle of the picture there. Anyhow, trying to shoot a Palouse Falls photo. I don't want to get too close. Ground breaks away, so I'm trying to get as close as I can safely. Oh, right about here. Holy smokes, look at that. So I will not get too close to the edge. I don't want my daughter to be an orphan. People have died here, they said. So this looks like a good spot. I'm gonna set down my gear and shoot from here. Okay, didn't used to have a fear of heights. Maybe a little bit, but I think more so since Chris has passed away. I think it's just because all of a sudden death is real. I mean, you think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, and then you lose somebody you love. And so, like I said, I don't want my kids to be orphans you know, at a relatively young age. And so I'm trying to be more careful, and all of a sudden I have a fear because it's like, you know, it really can happen. You really can fall off the edge. People die. So here it is right there. It's weird how it kind of zooms in and zooms out. Trying to show off. There's a waterfall behind me. I'm not near the edge, so I'm okay. Stepping back here on it. So there I am. I'm gonna flip this around in a second. So let's move closer. Flip the screen around. Okay, so here it is here, and look, you know, that's the edge. That's where you can fall off. And like I said, I'm not getting too close to the edge here. But look at that. That's straight down. I don't know how many, you know, I don't know, 700 feet, 800 feet, something like that. Okay, got this situated. Right there. It raises up a little bit. So we got another view, and even more interesting. That's how, again, close to the edge, drop off. I got my arm sticking out. It's not me. Let me go to a wide angle mode here. There we go. But look at that, how gorgeous it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful colors. A lot of flowing water. Great perspective. So I went home and showered and charged my batteries, and took about a half-hour nap just because didn't get much sleep last night, and I'm come back out to shoot. Boy, it is cold out here because it's windy. So we got windy and gray and rainy, so it'll be fun shooting today. So I'm just out following dirt roads, but the skies look great. There's some cool lighting. It stopped raining for a little bit, so I'm hoping that I can get some shots without getting wet. It's just really beautiful country around here. I mean, you can spend hours, days just driving around these dirt roads. It's just very pretty. Okay, Memorial Day morning. I'm walking down the hall, gonna get some breakfast. First time I meet breakfast here. Slept in past sunrise because I knew it was going to be just gray and rainy, drizzly. No, there is no sunrise. So I figured I might as well have their free breakfast, and then we'll head out and see if I can get some shots in sunlight. May head up, I think, to Spokane just because I want to check it out, see if there's anything interesting to shoot up there. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to head north of Pullman to see through Colfax areas what interesting things there might be to photograph this morning. Well, I'm the only one apparently having breakfast on Memorial Day morning. It's empty in here. You can see what I mean by looking outside. It's just gray, and you can't probably tell from the windows, but they're all covered with rain. Drizzly. It's been how it's been the whole time that I've been here. You know, it is what it is. So here I am on Highway 195 heading north. You can see it's coming down. Yeah, it looks almost like further north there's a break in the clouds, but hard to tell. So I will jump out. My camera gear is weather resistant, hopefully to the degree that I need. I guess we'll find out. I do plan on doing some photography today, whether it's in the rain or not. It's just that tough in the rain, not only because your camera gear gets wet, but it's cold and you get drenched, and it's, you know, the skies are just a dull gray. So driving now 195, I see this barn out in the field, and so I pull off on a road and to take a picture. There's two other photographers out there. I don't know if they know each other or not, but taking pictures of the barn. So the guy says, yeah, I found this one on the internet. Like, I just found it driving by. I had no idea. And it got some windmills behind him. I'm gonna head down the road. And there's a moose in the background. So that's the barn there. So I turn this a little bit more. That's the barn there. I want to try to get another angle here in just a second. But like I said, there's a moose in the background. long ways away.
Head
Even my
south.
telephoto.
Continue on Oakdale Road for 1.5 miles.
Even with my telephoto, I can't really zoom in on it, but barn shot's pretty cool. Windmills on a muddy road. May have to kick this thing into locked 4-wheel drive. I am sliding a little bit again. Do not want to get stuck here, but according to Google, and Google has led me wrong before, this is the way to Highway 195 again. Burr, just went out and took some pictures. Thermometer says it's 43, but it's breezy and it's cold. And I have gloves, but I didn't put them on. Had to pull up my hoodie. Very chilly out, still gray and cloudy. But there's just so much to see and photograph around here. Just following these dirt roads and you know, back roads and the windmills, the hills, the colors. It's gorgeous. Just having a wonderful time. I hope I get some photos I can share in this video. You never know how things are going to look until you process the photos, and then you know if you got it or not. But fingers crossed. I hope Google Maps knows what it's doing and is not looking to destroy my car like it did in Hanksville. That was a disaster. So I really don't like trusting Google Maps on the back roads, but I don't have a whole lot of choice right now, I think. I don't think I'd be able to backtrack the route that I came in. I took so many side roads to get to where I'm at. So I'm just outside of Spokane, just a few minutes away. I'm in Spokane, I guess downtown, in a place called River Walk, I think it's called. Anyhow, just looks like it might be a museum of natural history or something. I think around here there's something way up there. It's got a big O on it. I don't know what it stands for. And then big playground area, skateboard park. And like I said, there's some sort of river walk with a bridge and stuff that I'm gonna head toward. Being that Memorial Day at Spokane Arena, there's like a flag raising or something going on across the street here, military, honor of those who passed away. Fortunately, we have had a lot of soldiers die through the years. Thankful for the service. My dad spent 20 years in the Army. I grew up in that, so very grateful. Awful lot of water coming through. Again, I don't know what these rivers are. I didn't do my homework, but it's pretty cool. Okay, I just drove to a place called Manitou Park. At least on the Google search, it said it's a nice park, a lot of, you know, pretty vegetation, stuff like that. Figured what the heck, I'd give it a shot. Place is relatively crowded with people, hard to find a parking space. I'm sure it's because of the Memorial Day weekend. So I'm gonna look around and see if there's something to photograph. Beautiful day. Okay, well, I'm at Red Lobster for lunch. It's Memorial Day. Thought I'd eat something good. Hungry. And I haven't had a lobster in a long, long time. Decades. Fresh lobster tail, I think it's been. And normally be barbecuing right now with the family. I feel bad that I'm not there, but figured I normally I'd have a steak or maybe a burger or something for barbecue, but I'm going to have something I haven't had in a long time. It's just it's a treat for me. So I'm looking forward to eating some lobster. Okay, Tuesday morning, 3:52 a.m. My weather app says it's clear outside, 41 degrees, a little bit of breezy. This is the final morning, but if it says clear outside, this might be it. Might have been glad I stayed the extra day. and I could extra day. It paid for all the days, but you know, that's the last day, last chance. We'll see what happens. Okay, it's 1 hour till sunrise. It's roughly 30-40 minutes to the top of Steptoe Butte, so I'm cutting it close. Had a rough night. Boy, really liked the room, but the bed is hard. So tossed and turned, rough night, did not sleep well. You know, I was worried that this morning was going to be a bust like the rest of the mornings have been, so wasn't like super excited to get up. But as soon as I did, I checked, you know, the app and said clear. I can actually see there's already a little bit of pre-dawn light an hour early here, and I can see that it's not clear. There's clouds out. But, you know, hopefully it's enough clouds that give it sunlight color, but thin enough that light comes through to cast across the landscape. So that's really the key ingredient that I'm looking for. It is, it's 39 degrees out, a bit chilly, and like I said, not too windy. Said, you know, I think maybe 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing. At least it was in Pullman on top of Steptoe Butte. It might be a little bit windier, so if I already got my beanie on, ears get cold under these conditions, and I get a headache, so I don't want to be cold. So I bundled up, my camera gear is ready, I'm ready for some good lighting, my music ready. My guess is there can be a lot of people there this morning. It'll be interesting since it's Tuesday morning, it's the day after Memorial Day, so it'll be people that are here on vacation, any locals that or semi-locals or whatever the case may be that might be shooting, might be gone already, headed back to work. But people that are here on vacation or that are serious photographers, there's probably going to be, I suspect, quite a few, just because it's at least for this weekend that I've been here, it's the first quote-unquote clear morning we've had. Okay, I'm just heading out of Colfax, which is the town right before we get to Steptoe Butte, and it's like almost a fog. It's amazing how the weather can be so different from place to place. So I'm looking on my camera, trying to watch the road at the same time here, not looking at the camera too much, but it's brighter on camera than it is by eye, so it's not as blue either. You know, the camera's obviously doing the auto adjustment, which is great that it can do that, but it's much darker out than what I see on the camera, and not as blue. It looks fairly clear. You can see the horizon there, even in the camera, that it's dark on the horizon. Those are clouds. That's what's going to prevent the light from coming through. So it still may be a bust, but gosh, it's the last morning. Got to do it. You never know how this is going to turn out. So got a little bit of color this morning coming through. Let me show you what's going on, so you can see some color out there. May not have light coming through the clouds, but at least it's showing up in the sky. Well, it's breezy out, cold. It's freezing actually up on top of the Steptoe Butte, but got light last morning here. Got light. Show you a little bit here. See, look at this. I mean, just gorgeous. Hard to tell, obviously, in shots like this here, but we do have daylight out, so we've got those highlights and shadows going, which is what we're looking for. So, sideline will probably be gone a little bit, so I'll take a few more pictures and then head back to the hotel. Well, glasses are fogged. I shot an hour after sunrise, continued to shoot. It's 6 o'clock here right now. Cold and windy. I think I got some good shots. Turn on a little bit of heat. I think the sun's high enough now that it's time to move on. So goodbye Steptoe Plateau Butte. So it's interesting. I don't know why, but for some reason, I've had really a lack of energy on this trip. I started off good, and then I lost a lot of energy, and I'll be honest with you, it might be a little bit of a depression. You know, missing Chris. It's been a rough month, and even though she couldn't go on photo trips with me with her back problems, often I would get away with her and she'd hang out in the hotel or do something in town. You know, we'd have dinner and breakfast and lunch, and I'd be, well, maybe not breakfast because I'd be out shooting. I'd be shooting the golden hours and at night, and then spending time with her. And so anytime I go on a trip, I think I have a lot of free time in my head to think about Chris and how much I miss her. And it's just so painful still. So I don't know if that was a problem. But anyhow, I had a lack of energy many times on this trip, but not always. And today, maybe it's a matter I'm hyped up on sugar from, I just ate like almost a half a box of fudge stripe cookies, and I've drank, just finishing up a Rockstar, got a couple of sips left, and good shooting and the cold weather. So I'm not really sure if it's a combination of those things or one of those things, but got a lot of energy right now, and so I'm happy about that. Hopefully I can keep this energy level up through the day, not only to stay awake for the 10 to 12 hour drive home, but also to get some shooting in, and also because I feel better when I have the energy up. And so, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of factors. We won't go into that. There could be health issues, and be checking those things out and so forth. I'm trying, see a doctor, try to stay healthy. Get some shade on my face here. Looks really weird, huh? I got a big stripe across my face with light. Anyhow, I'm feeling good, is my whole point to this right now. Is I'm feeling good, feeling positive, and it might be the sugar, the caffeine, the cold, and the rush of having some good photography. So it's a great way to, kind of end the last day of the trip on a high note, and I hope this high note holds out for the rest of the ride home. I don't know how many of you will watch Seinfeld, but there's an episode where George Costanza hits a bird, might have been a pigeon or something. He says, we had a deal. And so that just happened to me. So I'm going speed limit, come around a corner, and there's a small flock of dove on the road. And, I didn't have time to stop or anything, and they flew up. I ran over one, and another one bounced off the front of the car. The sound of the crunch and the thud was sickening. Oh my gosh. Did not like to hear that. When I was younger, I used to go dove hunting and eat dove, and I like dove, and I still have nothing against that, but I don't want to just kill them and have roadkill sitting there for the dove, the poor dove. I mean, it just sucks. And it was this, like I said, a sickening sound. And I after I hit him, I'm driving off thinking, we had a deal. Anyhow, if you don't watch Seinfeld, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm back in Idaho, but beautiful day. It's the nicest day I've had on this trip. It came in gray and rainy, stayed gray and rainy. Now it's beautiful as I'm leaving. It's almost like, hey, Mike's leaving, so time to turn on the sunshine and the heat and the beauty and, get on out of our state. So now it'll be a beautiful ride home, and like I said, I think there might be some things to photograph on the way home. I worked my way through Lewiston because I wanted to go to a Maverick, and not getting paid yet. So I want to go to Maverick because I got my Maverick card. I get 10 cents off a gallon. I like their Coke Zero there. I got some nachos. I probably put on 10 pounds or more on this trip eating cookies and nachos and, you know, lobster for dinner on Memorial Day. So I've pulled over here on 95 at a historical site. It's actually kind of a cool one. Don't pull over. It's this railroad trestle. Apparently about 1,500 feet long, almost 300 feet high, and built in 1908. And anyhow, it's what they call across Lawyers Valley. And here we go again. Them yeller plants. Okay, got to stop here for a second. Okay, you got to check this out here. Okay, this is it's a B&B, so a bed and breakfast, dog style. Doors on there. That's a porch. Stairs that go up. It's dogs. So this is on 95 in Idaho. I don't know the name of the town, but anyhow, pretty interesting. Cool bridge over the Salmon River. Kind of a cool bridge. I like these kind of bridges. Very neat. I'm just south of Boise on 84, and speed limit's 80 miles an hour. I'm going 80, maybe 81. I mean, try to keep it right. At this speed, I try not to go too high.
There's a speed trap ahead.
There it goes. Speed trap ahead. I don't know if you heard that. About every 5 minutes, this thing's going off. There's a speed trap ahead. This is on my Google Maps popping up, and it's not faking it. I've seen so many cops along here that have pulled people over. It's just amazing. So I don't know if it's because it's Memorial Day weekend, the day after, whatever. I'm going right now exactly 80 miles an hour. I've got my GPS on as well, my cruise control set, so I'm safe. But holy cow, I'm amazed at how many cops are out on 84 today and pulling people over. So if you don't have that turned on, your alerts in your Google Maps, good thing to have. You know, I try not to go too fast anyhow. I definitely don't need a ticket. Too expensive, don't need the points, etc., etc. But just a heads up, if you travel this way on a holiday, or maybe it's this way all the time. I don't remember it being this bad on the way up, but it sure is now. Another cop. Gonna eat lunch at a place called The Stop, getting what's called a Wampus Burger. It's a dual patty with a slice of ham, and got good reviews on Google. I'm hungry. It's about another, I don't know, 3 hours or so till home, and it's almost 5 o'clock, so I'm hungry. I've only eaten snacks all day, so we'll see how this tastes. I'm excited. On 84 in Idaho, about 115 miles from Ogden, and look at those dark clouds on the horizon, heading right into a storm. I said right when we get up to the crest here, we'd be hitting into the rain, and that's exactly what's happening here. Yeah, it's coming down pretty hard right now. I don't know if you can hear it. I love the sound of rain though. It can't make me. The sound of rain is great when you're trying to sleep. Not that I want to sleep right now, so I'm both hands on the wheel. Oh, there we go. Yeah, both hands on the wheel, trying to make sure that I'm steering clear through this. So just a tip, one of the things that I do whenever I'm on a road trip, I try to download my memory cards to my laptop every night when I get back, so I can format the cards and start fresh. So I have a couple of hard drives, internal hard drives in my laptop, first of all. So I have one hard drive that I usually dedicate internally to saving my photos, and then I have an external hard drive
an external SSD drive. So basically I've got 3 places that I'm putting the photos, and I try to make sure that I put these photos to all 3 places every night. And occasionally I mess up because I get back, it's late at night, I'm exhausted, I can barely keep my eyes open and go to sleep. But if possible, I put them to all 3 places for this reason. My laptop stays in the hotel. My SSD drive I put in my camera bag, and my portable hard drive I leave in the car. Well, for some reason somebody breaks in my hotel room and steals my laptop. I've got 2 more backups of it. If for some reason my camera bag also gets stolen, the car gets stolen. So I've got double redundancy basically in my backups. If I have my 3 separate locations, they're divided up, they're not all kept together, other than like right now when I'm driving the car, really don't have much choice but to keep them all together. So if I die in a fiery car wreck, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, then I lose everything. But if something happens while I'm out shooting, I have backups in other places. So I try to do that every night, and then format the memory cards, and so I know what's been transferred, what has been transferred. My card's ready to go the next morning, ready to shoot. So like I said, that's typically how I do it, and maybe it's something that would work for you as well. Okay, I'm about to cross over into Utah. In fact, the sign's coming up now, crossover. And here we go into Utah. Yay. Okay, so the reason I pulled it up now is that we leave Idaho. I have to think of I have to share a joke that always reminds me of Idaho. So the Potato Head family is sitting around the dinner table having dinner. So Mom and Dad Potato Head and the 3 Potato Head daughters. And as they're eating and having conversation, the oldest Potato Head daughter says, "Mom, Dad, I have some news to share with you." "What is it, honey?" She says, I'm getting married." Like, "Oh my goodness, you're getting married. How wonderful. Who are you getting married to?" She says, "I'm marrying an Idaho spud." Oh, and the mom says, "That's a wonderful tater, darling. Just a marvelous tater. We're so happy and proud of you. That's very exciting news." So they continue eating. And the second daughter pipes up and says, "Well, I guess I might as well share my news now as well." I said, "More news? What's your news, honey?" The second daughter says, "I'm also getting married." Says, "What? 2 marriages? 2 of her daughters getting married?" Says Mother Potato Head. "Who are you marrying?" And the second daughter says, "I'm marrying a russet." "Oh," says the Mother Potato, "that's a wonderful tater, darling. Wonderful tater. So happy for you." So they go back to eating, smiles on their faces, and pretty soon the youngest daughter pipes up and says, "Mom, Dad?" Says, No, you're too young." Says, "Yes, it's true, Mom and Dad. I'm also getting married." Says, "But didn't even know you were seeing anybody. Who in the world are you dating?" And the youngest daughter pipes up and says, "I'm marrying Lester Holt." Mother says, "From NBC Nightly News?" The youngest daughter says, "Yes, I'm getting married to Lester Holt." And the mother says, "Oh, but darling, he's a commentator." Okay, we're in Ogden city limits, just about 15 minutes away from my home. So I figured I'd wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Thank you for watching. Keep in mind that this is, by the time I post this, I think it'll only be my 3rd video. So I know that the filming is crude, the editing is crude, my facial expressions are crude. So bear with me as I get this figured out. But you can definitely help me out to make this YouTube channel maybe grow, and so I'll have incentive to make everything better. If you could click the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell as well, or make comments on my videos also. Thanks again, and we'll see you in my next adventure.